and to this week's Live and Dirty at 5:30 question and answer event, where we go through the shop, talk about what we worked on since last week, and let you guys answer questions. So welcome everybody that is waiting, and welcome to everybody that's going to watch this later on after the live event is over. So we got a lot of stuff going on since last week and in the upcoming week as we prepare to go to Australia for the Moto Retro master classes, I guess, where I'll be in Sydney teaching for pretty much the month of October. So I've been spending a lot of time getting everything wrapped up in the shop, as prepared as I can. There's always stuff that I wish I could have gotten to, but there's only so many hours in the day. So we've been really prepping to get ready for this trip, and I've still got frame rail orders coming in that I got today, so just still thrashing away trying to get everything ready.
Dennis is here.
Welcome, Dennis. Glad you made it. And I don't think anything's changed really in the office.
Let's do a quick
pan.
Yeah,
everything's pretty much the same. Yeah.
Phil Alexander's here.
Yeah, welcome. So tomorrow our office cleaning ladies will come in the morning and help clean up the office, and they usually do that right before our monthly garage night. So tomorrow night is garage night for anybody that's planning on attending. That one's a go. We will not be having one in November because I won't be in Australia anymore, but I think I'll be in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's a whole nother thing that I have to prep for is we'll be doing October, we'll be in Australia, and then we fly from Australia to LA, and then I go from LA to Las Vegas to teach a class with Bailey at Kevin Stone Metal Art. So I'll be doing a metal shaping class there on my way home. So yeah, it's going to be a whirlwind.
Yeah, Burton is here.
Yeah, welcome.
Go Fast with Class is here.
Yeah, welcome.
So, yeah, Burton, it's all work stuff, but for Australia, you've got like 3 weeks where you've got 2 days off, and then 1 week where you have 5 days off. So we've got.
Yeah, I get Mondays and Tuesdays to myself to kind of recuperate and.
Putz around.
Yeah, check out the city and outside the city if I've got time. And then Jamie is coming in the last week. I'll be there, and we have 4 days off? You said.
I think 5 because I think you have Monday through
Friday off.
Thursday.
Okay.
Or maybe it is 4. You're right, and then you have a class Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. So we'll have a little bit of time to explore and do some stuff, but it's exciting. A little stressful with being gone that long and getting, like I said, getting everything to a point where I don't feel it's an absolute disaster being gone for that much time. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit of a disaster when I come home, trying to play catch up. Yeah, it's gonna be something.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Restoration Revival's here, and Ray Cole Jr. is here. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so let's head out to the shop. So the work board has been cleaned off. I know I mentioned that last week. So I erased everything, put up my important list, and slowly getting that stuff crossed off. So I got my parts for Machine Gun Ken done. The ferro rails are done. I'll show you those in a minute. I still have to do the roof insert, which is laying over there, but that is on my list for, I think, either Sunday or Monday. I'm going to knock it out. The Broughton frame rails, I'll show you those in a minute. Those are getting picked up tomorrow. I'm getting my projects ready for Bailey, and I have to ship everything out now, and then it's going to go to Vegas and sit there for a month. So I usually do like a really aggressive shrink project, so I've got that all laid out, got to finish trimming it, and yeah, if you hear Jamie coughing, she's got a little bit of a scratchy throat from allergies. But so I have to get 2 roof inserts ready too, and ship a buck out. So I do 2 roof inserts for the class. We usually do a demo, and then I do a finished piece, and everybody signs it, and we hang it up on the wall at whatever shop we're at. So I have to get those ready, all laid out, boxed up, and shipped out by Tuesday.
My Uncle Tim is here,
yeah.
And Gabe Schaefer is here.
Yeah, welcome. Yep, so working on getting all of that stuff. We shipped all our tools we're going to sell over to Australia yesterday. They got picked up. So a couple big boxes of tools. So for you guys that are interested in picking up tools, I should have plenty, I hope. If we sell out early, I will tell Jamie how to ship more if we have them.
Figure it out. Michael Anderson is here, and he's from Australia.
Nice. Yep. So hopefully I'll get to meet you and maybe a bunch of other people. I'm excited about getting over there and meeting a bunch of you guys. I've got some Dreadnought frame rails to do. Waiting on the finalization to come through, and I can knock those out tomorrow. Then we have garage night, and we leave for Australia next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
Michael says, hope you enjoy Bathurst.
Yep.
Aussie's greatest motorsport.
Yep. So that's going to be the big thing, and I'm glad you brought it up because I've got so much stuff I want to talk about that I made a topic list, and that is on there. So when I first get to Australia, we're going to be at the Bathurst Repco 1000. I'll be there Saturday, maybe Sunday, but I will be out and about mingling, checking out the races, but there'll also be times that I will be at the Heron Forbes corporate, I guess, booth or stand, whatever you want to call it. But I'll be there to meet a lot of you guys. So if you're not coming to Sydney for the classes, but you're going to be at the Bathurst race, make sure to hit me up on Instagram or an email or even on here. Just let me know, and we can try to meet up if we're just crossing paths. So I'll definitely be there enjoying the races and looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys there as well.
Lars is here from Norway. So
Nice.
That's a new one for us. So thanks
for joining.
And then Michael said Sunday is the race day. Friday and Saturday support races and practice. So you get in Saturday.
I get in Friday.
Friday morning?
Yeah.
At
I get in
7:30.
Friday morning, and then we're going to go to Heron Ford or Motor Retro, check out the shop, check over some of the tools, see if there's anything else we need to get, make sure all my stuff showed up. And then Saturday morning, we're going to go up to Bathurst, and that's where I have to figure out if I'm going to stay over for Sunday or if I need to go back to Sydney and kind of rest up to get the classes started.
Yeah, I think the plan for that is really to see how you're hanging.
Yeah.
Restoration Revival wants to know if you will come to Australia again in 2026 because they need to plan ahead to meet you. I don't know if we're quite that far ahead yet.
We haven't set anything like that, but I would really like to. So a lot of it I think is going to be seeing how this goes.
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of cool to go to a different part of Australia. So if anybody's watching and you've got a shop and you want to do some training at your facility, we can set up some classes and maybe do different parts of the country. So we're definitely open to that. We just have to see how this trip goes and kind of go from there.
Yeah. Michael Anderson said need to check out the Bathurst Race Museum at the bottom of Conrad. So I'm guessing that's there.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you will.
We'll have to just see how everything goes because I'm sure it's going to be a little hectic at the beginning.
This is a good question. Dennis said, did you ever go to the Race of Gentlemen in Wildwood, New Jersey?
Yep, I've been to the Race of Gentlemen a few times. We took the Indy Roadster there once and raced it on the beach illegally. We kind of snuck it in and made a few passes, and that didn't end the greatest. But and then we went back. I've been there a couple other times since then. But I think
Spectating mainly.
Yeah, what was the last year we were there? 2023?
3?
Yeah, 2023.
Because you went a year with, I went the year
that we raced.
You raced, which I think was like 22. Because you didn't go last year, right?
No.
Which was 24.
And I don't think I went the year before.
Which would have been 23.
Yeah, so I think it was 2022 maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Anderson said Conrad Straight is the last corner on the track.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll definitely see it. Go to the museum then. That should be.
Yeah, and it'll be cool because I think they set up some like garage tours at the track so we can go through the racing garages and meet some of the teams and check out some of the cars. I'm really excited to see a lot of the vintage stuff. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And yeah, so let's see what's on my list.
Yeah, pull out your list. And sorry again, guys, if I'm coughing or clearing my throat. They started plowing the fields by our house, so I think that's what's getting me.
So one thing that has been on the works for a while, and I can show you guys the little bits and pieces, and then we'll go over and I'll show you the prototype. So I've been getting parts machined for our wedge lock T-post holder. So we've got some of those here, getting the initial pieces for the first light production run to see how everything turns out and what you guys think. So these are the face plates. These are the mounting posts for the back. The main machined bodies are over at the powder coater, getting powder coated, and I've got hardware packs going together. And then today, the first batch of our laser cut wedge lock posts that come with the tool. So when you order the tool, it'll come with 3 of the steak bases, and then there'll be you can order them in 5 packs from there. But we'll head over and I'll show you the wedge lock T-dolly. So this is what I used to use.
A couple comments and questions.
Yeah, we can do the questions real quick.
Ray wants to know, since he got a shrinking disc, what do I need to do to get a sticker for his wall? I'm not sure what kind of...
Yeah, so you have to let me know which sticker you want, and if you wait, we're actually working on a shrinking disc sticker. And It's
Yeah.
going to be super cool. I'm hoping to at least have the final design before I leave and posted. I probably won't have the stickers, but they're going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So just let me know which sticker you want, and I'll just mail you one out.
Yeah, and Restoration Revival said he would host us, but in South Australia, but his shop is not big enough. Sadly.
Okay.
Ray said the shrinking disc sticker.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, just wait till you see it because it's going to be super cool.
And Ashley Copper said, great new reciprocating machine video.
Thank
so
you. Yeah, I
hopefully you
appreciate
guys
that.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're kind of jumping around my list, but it doesn't matter as long as we get all the information covered. Before we leave for Australia, I'm going to try to do a power hammer video this weekend along the same lines as the kick shrinker stretcher, the reciprocating machine, just a basic intro to the machine, what it does, and how it works. We're not going to dive super deep yet, but give you another one of those style videos for the power hammer. So
That's going to be hard because, for me, because
Yeah.
I have to be really far away to get it all in frame the whole time.
yeah,
It's so big.
yeah. So hopefully Sunday we're going to have a little bit of time to do that.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see. So any other questions, or do you want to talk about the?
Go Fast with Class said he loves the MG sticker from
Thank you.
Bonneville. It looks great.
Thank you.
And Burton said he's looking forward to the power hammer video.
Cool.
So awesome. You want to keep talking about your...
Yep. So this is what I used to use, and I just cut these on the plasma and welded in a shim. But the problem is welding it kind of warped, and it just doesn't look the greatest. So I didn't want to produce them like this and sell them. So I've been working for a while with my CNC machinist, and this is what we came up with. And Jamie can come around and show it.
Yeah.
So this is the faceplate that you guys saw, and I like the faceplate to be able to bolt off, because when we've had these, like we used to, this was mounted right here, and people would do the class and they would change out the T-dolly and they would smack it with a steel-faced hammer and they would mushroom this and then it would get stuck. So a lot of my T-dollies, you'll see that mine are ground on the corners where they've kind of been gouged. So I liked the idea of making it a bolt-on faceplate to where if something like that happens, it's easy to get out, it's maintainable, and if you come around the back, you can show this. So there is the mounting plate. It bolts on with 5 quarter 28s, and then you can weld a piece of tube to it. So this is just a clamp. You can slide it in and out and rotate it. So ditch that one. So here is just the basic stake. So it drops in, and it locks itself in, you can easily pull it out, but then you don't get that rocking. If you clamp it in a vise and you hammer on one side, it's going to slide in the vise. So these are just, like I said, the basic raw stakes, but then you can weld your own pieces of material on here to make all kinds of stuff. And then we have that one.
How many stakes will it come with?
The initial kit will come with 3 base stakes, and then they'll come in 5 packs from there, or I can sell them individual. But it's really nice because then you can just make a bunch of stakes. You have one holder, and you can change everything out for what you're working on. And like I said, it kind of locks itself in there. It's nice and snug. So we've been working on these for about a year, trying to get everything worked out to where I was happy with them. So hopefully you guys like it. And
Yeah, because they don't need any fancy equipment, just a
yep, just all
hammer.
basic hand tool stuff. And like the cool thing with this base on the back is it slips inside a piece of 1.5" OD 120 wall tube. So if you make a clamp setup like this, it's easy to attach that. Or if you want to make a fixture that bolts onto your workbench, you could just bolt it through and do the same thing. So it's a pretty versatile tool. I'm excited about them. Hopefully you guys like them. So
Brandon said pretty cool, very cool.
Yep. And we've been, this kind of ties into another thing.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it on our Discord server. So I think it's been 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I got the initial machined parts back, and I posted it up there, and we've been talking about it on our Discord server. So if you guys want to join the Discord server, you can go over to patreon.com/cornfieldcustoms and get signed up on Patreon, and that gives you access to the Discord. And what we're doing on Discord is essentially building a community where you guys can post build pictures, build albums, ask questions. We do tool talk. We're going to have the podcast on there. You can have podcast discussions. And we're just building a community of essentially social media without all the BS of Facebook or Instagram.
Like old school forums, kind of is the.
Yeah, it's kind of a private
thought.
forum. And it's a community of people that want to be there, and it's behind a paywall just to keep the riffraff out. You know, that way we don't just have anybody in there just stirring the pot. You know, you want to be there because you want knowledge and you want that community. And so far it's really good. A few people have started build albums. Like I said, we've got tool talk, we've got podcast questions and discussion, and I'm really working to make sure it's going to be pretty cool for you guys.
Yeah. Go Fast with Class, it's interesting concept, likes it, better than using a vise.
Yep,
And
because I've got some that
Nope.
you can see when you clamp them in the vise, it chews it up, and then how those are on an angle, just where I hit it, it works and rotates in the vise. So that's why I like that wedge lock idea. And I kind of pulled the theory of that from like a Morse taper in a drill press where it wedges itself up, but we didn't have to have a circle, just that nice flat wedge.
Yeah, Burton said it's way better than the more common trailer hitch tool mount. Those have way too much slop. And
Yep.
sounds like that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Dalton is on the Discord, so he said join it, and so did Brandon, and so did Gabe.
Yeah, thank you.
Gabe said they look great, and Brandon said he likes the category build out lately. It's really come together.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
on Discord, I think he means.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you.
and so we're going to have an initial run of these. I think I've got 3 or 4 that'll be available as soon as I get the parts back from Powder. I talked to them today, and they said I might have them tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. I might do the initial launch on Discord. I would do a pre-release or a pre-order, but with me going to Australia, I don't want you guys to have to sit and wait a month.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do the few that I have in stock and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
And see what you guys think, and if there's any improvements before we go into big mass production.
Yeah, Stephen Carter said he needs rails. Well, I don't know if you've been talking to him already or
I don't know. If you need rails, I need to
no now.
know by the end of the day tomorrow.
Yeah.
That way I can get them bent up this weekend, and we can get them out the door on Monday.
Yeah.
So,
About to do a cutoff on those
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Yeah. Tomorrow. Tomorrow
Yeah,
is the cutoff.
is the cutoff.
Yeah.
Fabit's here. He said, good evening.
Yeah, welcome.
Michael Anderson was saying, which is nice. Thanks, Michael. He said 49 are watching, but only 8 likes. So that's kind of sad. We'll hopefully
that's all
our
right.
friends like us.
It's quality over quantity.
True.
Yep.
True. We only got the best people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's back
What else is on your list?
back to my list.
Also, does anybody want to see anything in the shop while we're...
Yep, so we talked about Australia, we talked about Bathurst, and I'll be doing a video about coming to Australia, and we'll be doing a bunch of videos along the way. So
Yeah.
make sure to stay for that. Tools are packed, Patreon, Discord, and like I said, it's got questions, answers, projects, tool talk, and the podcast community.
Yep.
Me and Jamie are going to try to do our first episode of the podcast this weekend if we've got time.
Yeah, this weekend, we are packed to the gills. I
Yeah.
think we're just trying to squeeze everything in before you leave.
Yeah.
So.
And then tomorrow night, again, is garage night if you guys are in the area. There's a lot of guys coming in town for the Pumpkin Run Nationals. So hopefully tomorrow at garage night's really, really good. So I got to clean the shop up a little bit tomorrow too.
Yeah.
We talked about the upcoming power hammer video, and we just talked about our wedge lock setup. So the only thing I didn't talk about with the wedge lock is the price point, which is kind of the bad part. So all of the machined parts and material, it's kind of getting expensive. So the initial wedge lock mount, so it'll be the faceplate, the main body, and the back piece, and 3 of the universal U-welded stakes, they're gonna be about $300. So it came in a little bit higher than I had hoped, but it kind of is what it is with having to have all this stuff CNC machined and just the way of the world. So that's about where the price point's gonna be, and then it's gonna be for a 5 stake pack, of just, I don't even know where I laid it. So then the 5 basic steaks, they'll be $55 for a 5-pack. So I think
That's not bad.
that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But
Stephen Carr said, no hurry, go on vacay. It's a working vacay.
yeah. So yeah, because the big thing is I've got some people on the rails that are, we need them right now because they can't wait till the middle of November. So if there's a chance that you can't wait and you need them before then, before middle of November, I can knock them out tomorrow, but we have to know tomorrow.
I feel like you're going to get home and it's going to be Thanksgiving and Christmas and the year's over.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Aaron's Garage hasn't been here in a bit, but he wanted to know where Dom went. So, Dom graduated high school and
Yeah, in the
got-
late spring, he graduated high school, and I guess he got a different job when I was out racing at El Mirage. And
Yeah.
so Jamie
we
took
wish,
over.
Yeah, wish him nothing but the best. And
Yep.
good luck to him in his future endeavors. And and you're stuck with me, so hopefully I'm doing okay. I've
Yeah.
gotten pretty good feedback.
Yeah. Nothing against Dom, but you're much better to look at. So.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can come over this way because then we're going to talk about some of the frame rails that I did yesterday and today.
Rainy Day Artistry says, awesome work with all the videos. Aside from the amazing metal work you do, super helpful in making this world better. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yep. And so these are going to be 2 roof inserts, the ones I was mentioning I have to do for Bailey. So I've got the blanks cut, and then I just got to lay everything out and trim them and put them in the crate, and away to Las Vegas they can go.
Yeah. Fabit said he liked the Linux video.
Thank you.
So thank you. And he says we have tour Friday through Sunday next 2 weeks. And he said, I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks, Gabe, for telling me I'm doing great. I need the ego boost sometimes. And then Michael Anderson said, oh, U.S. steel prices.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then here is my deep shrink project that I do at Bailey. So this is a 1-piece wheel well. So I've got everything laid out just to make it easier for demonstrating. So got that wrapped up right before the live started. So
Do you think it will be flat when it gets there?
Yes. So
Oh.
the way I package it up in the crate, it'll be fine.
Okay. Dave Dowdy said hello.
Yep. Welcome.
CK said they've never met an Australian they didn't like.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have either. I mean,
Yeah.
we like
I don't think so.
Yeah. And then Todd Englert said he's a little late, but hello. Hey,
Yeah.
Todd.
Welcome. Better late than never.
Yeah.
So these rails I did today, and this was a first. I had to write down what they were just so I get the years right, because some people get really upset. So these are 77 to 88 Dodge D150 for a short wheelbase pickup truck. So I designed the full length frame rails, and they only needed the back 3/4. And these are actually going under a Little Red Express. So it's kind of neat.
That's what that car was on the Google.
Yep. Yep. So Little Red Express back rails. We can do full length ones because, like I said, I've got them designed all the way forward. So these were a fun little rail. And then these on the table, they look similar to the ones that were there last week, but those actually got picked up last Sunday, and these are a different F100 rail. So these are 67 to 72 F100 short wheelbase.
Yeah, your big old pile of rails is gone.
Yep.
Yay.
All the big rails on the floor, those got picked up yesterday. So those are gone. And these are getting picked up tomorrow. Guy's coming in town for Pumpkin Run. He called, I think, Monday or Tuesday and got them bent up so he could pick them up.
Burton said you have nice penmanship with a marker even.
Oh, thank you.
Michael said I'm doing a great job. Thank you. Rob said, great videos. Have you used any laser scanning or laser trackers for reverse engineering and creation of woodblocks or forms?
No, that's way too technological for me. So I haven't done any of that stuff. And I'm just going to step back this way because the air
loud,
conditioner's
yeah.
running.
You want to talk about I guess you just pattern basically, right?
Yep. Yeah. So,
Old-fashioned way?
yep. Yeah, just paper pattern stuff. I do a little bit of CAD work, but nothing as fancy as lasers. And I'm guessing with the penmanship, I don't know if you were talking about on that pattern or I started sending out all of,
Probably that pattern.
it could be that, or if they got the demo pieces from
from
our Linux video. Because I started sending all of that stuff out, I guess Monday, because a couple of our members got first access to the video and they got dibs
Todd?
on the videos. Yep.
Was it Todd? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Todd, did you get that already?
Yeah, he should have gotten it. I think it said it was supposed to be there yesterday.
I'm curious if anybody's here got any of that stuff. Let us know if you received it.
Yeah, because there was such a such a good response with people actually wanting the demo pieces that I ran a handful of extras. So I came in, I think it was Tuesday. The video was doing really well, and a lot of people wanted test pieces, so I made duplicates. I think we ended up sending out 4 Model A belt lines, a handful of the little dimple pieces, and I sent the last one out today. So unfortunately, we're out.
Yeah.
So have to wait for another demo video on maybe the power hammer, and we can send out more demo pieces.
Yeah, Stephen Carter. Okay. I think I understand what you mean, but I'm not sure. He said, thank you. The War Department is easy on the ear and the eyes. It's okay. So I don't know if that means.
Yeah, you're the War Department.
Why am I the War Department?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I've been told I could be meaner in my life, so
Yeah.
just put that on your radar of
Yeah.
how I am as a person. Dalton wants to know tips on working a weld seam that is oil canning.
Usually if it's oil canning or you've got too much stretch, so it's overstretched and you've got that loose material. It's kind of hard to tell without having the piece, but usually you have to take a shrinking disc and shrink that back a little bit to tighten it up.
Okay. Alex says I have a nice voice. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's funny to me.
Any other questions or anything? Yeah, let us know if you got any of
Yeah.
those demo pieces, because I'm excited that people actually liked it. Because usually I just throw that stuff away. Whenever we do demos for the classes or any of the video stuff, it just usually gets pitched.
Do you have anything laying around? You could probably not, because you've been not. You've just been doing frame rails. I feel like.
Well, frame rails and packaging stuff, and it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because usually you have a scrap.
Yeah, like, because I've got
Pile
one. I was going to
somewhere.
send this one out, but I felt weird because we did all the demo pieces in the video in aluminum, and I had a steel one from the class I was going to send out, but I'm like, I don't want to be misleading since I said we did aluminum and it should open steel.
False free advertising.
Yeah, false free advertising. So that one's still here, but yeah, I mean, I've got stuff like that all the time where it just gets demonstrated and then thrown away.
Yeah. Do you want to show any of our tools or anything?
No.
No.
No, I mean, we can, like, I'll just wait for you guys to ask questions.
This is funny. Restoration Revival says you better watch these guys chatting up your girl, Mike.
That's all right.
Alex said, which bender do you use for building tube chassis?
Round tube chassis, it's a Bailey RDB, so a rotary draw bender. I think it's a 175. Yep,
Oh.
175. So that's, sorry, it's going to be loud because you're right underneath the air inlet. But so this is the one I use for all my round tube work. It's not CNC. You can just program the bend angle, and yeah, pretty straightforward. It's just nice to have a hydraulic bender versus the old ratchet hand pull style.
And I think this is also your pack rat tip, is you put a lot of stuff on wheels and move it around
Yeah.
if you need to.
Yeah, lots and lots of stuff is on wheels, just so I can move it around and pack it up, and lots of carts, and or I stack everything on skids so I can put a pump jack under it and move it around. So, because I'm always moving stuff, always.
Yeah. ADHD, but also I think it just helps with, like, this is perfect example too.
Yeah.
Like, I think you have to get creative with the space that you have, no matter what that is.
Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to show the.
We got some comments and questions.
Yeah.
Stephen Carter said, the boss sister, get a clue. Talk about me.
Yeah.
Phil Alexander, learning paper patterns in your class is a life changer. It has
Yeah.
opened up a whole new world of things we do at the shop now. Can't wait to get back out there for a little more advanced class. So thanks,
Thank you.
Phil.
Yeah, we get a lot of positive feedback on the patterns because once you get a better grasp on paper patterning, it shows you how to make everything that you need to make. You know, it takes all of the guesswork out of it.
Yeah. And do you want to talk
Yeah.
about?
So since we're on paper patterns, this is I've been using this pattern for a while, but this is the one I demo at the Bailey stuff.
Do you always demo the same thing at the
Not
Bailey
always.
class?
A lot of times I will. Like, I always get like a lot of really good response out of this one, so I tend to do this one a lot because we do a one-piece wheel well. So I do all the shrinking, pull it over, blending it, tightening up the radius, and planish it out within an hour. So everybody always likes to see this one because it's a big, impressive piece to knock out in an hour. And it's not perfect, but it gives you the basic concept.
And it's one piece. I think that's
Yeah,
the big.
yeah,
what
one
people
piece,
wouldn't
no
think
weld
it would
seams,
be.
but it breaks down like how to put the radius in there. You know, our first set of shrinks, our center point, which is our second set of shrinks, and then our third set is where the radius stops, and then we just continue to shrink out to that point. and that gets that pulled over to a real nice crisp 90.
Michael Anderson said, I know you do a lot of paper patterns and wood bucks. What are your thoughts on flexible shape patterns as used by Ray Shalene?
So my thought on flexible shape patterns is not that they don't work, but they don't work for massive shrink work. Because the way I paper pattern everything is we'll pull it over, it'll show all of our shrink marks, and we can go this way. So when I pattern something and it comes over, it will show all of our shrink marks. So it's all laid out, all of our shrink marks are noted. And then we take that pattern off of the part and we lay it completely flat, and it shows us where our light lines are, our shrinks, our stretches, everything. So with a flexible shape pattern, you can't lay it out flat. So to get that same information, I would have to cut our flexible shape pattern to get it to lay down flat. That doesn't do me any good at that point. Why did I spend all of that time and money using fiber tape to get this flexible shape pattern that's now a paper pattern? So I think they work really well if you're working all in stretch base, where you're going to a lead bag, you have an oversized piece of aluminum or steel, you beat it kind of into shape, and then you can put the flexible shape pattern over it and say, okay, I need to stretch here more to fill that void. I think they work well in that instance, which is more stretching with a mallet in a bag and wheel work. Since I don't do pretty much any wheel work anymore, I just don't find them beneficial for here. I know some people use them and they love them. I just think for how shrink heavy I am, because everything is 99% shrink here. It's just a little bit of radial stretch to blend everything out and raise up lows, unless we're doing door skins or low crown stuff. But anything you need to make a flexible shape pattern for is going to have a ton of shrink in it, at least here, and that's not going to work well with that pattern type. So I steer clear of those and just paper pattern everything.
Cool. Yeah, Stephen Carter said the F100 rails turned out beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, so what other questions you guys got?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do the cart thing this weekend too, if we can stay focused and knock out 2 videos.
2, yeah.
Yeah, so what do we have this weekend? We have 2 videos.
Podcast.
The podcast.
The band, my nephew's band concert
Yeah.
or contest. I thought it was later in the evening, but it's at 5:30 on
Yeah.
Saturday.
And then we're
So.
probably going to have to go see my parents before I leave.
Yep. Gabe said the YouTube video of you making the inner fender really shows how patterns help, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why I like doing that one, because I used to do a bunch of different different projects at Bailey, and then a few years ago I did that one piece wheel well, and like the guys at Bailey and the students told me how much they liked it, so I kind of just keep running with that until people get sick of seeing it.
Didn't you do a roof insert too before?
Yeah, I do a aggressive shrinking, which is the inner wheel well piece, and then I also do low crown roof insert stuff. So we do the aggressive, not as aggressive, so we have to do both.
Yeah.
And those I usually do a 32 3-window roof insert. So I send the buck out with a couple of the blanks and go from there.
Yeah. Michael said, fair point, thanks for the explanation.
Yep, no problem.
Todd said, can you explain what you mean by a flexible shape pattern?
Yeah, so you're taking, usually it's like plastic packing tape with the little fiberglass fibers in it, and you have your shape. Sorry, we don't really have anything to demonstrate it with. So you have your part that's shaped, and you can put like some talcum powder on it just to make it not as tacky, and you'll run one row of tape at a 45 this way, and then you'll double it up and run it this way at 45, and then when you take it off, the tape will help hold that shape, so it becomes like a flexible shape pattern.
So is the tape, is it like a wire pattern but with tape?
Kind of, except it's flexible.
Because the tape's not going to be as rigid and strong. Okay.
Yeah, so the shape doesn't base anything on form. It's just going to show you the shape.
Yeah,
So it's
right,
super
right.
flimsy, floppy, and as long as you can get that to fit tight to your pattern, it shows you that the shape is right, even if the arrangement of the form is not right.
Right.
So
I see what you mean then, because then you're like, well, it's still, you
it,
still
do,
might
it,
have
it doesn't tell me
changed.
anything.
Right.
You know, it works really well, I guess, if you work in stretch base. But for me, where I do everything in a shrink based, it's useless.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've tried them, and I always end up cutting them apart, and then I'm just like, why did I spend all this money on this tape? And all this time doing it that way when I could have just paper patterned it, and it would have got me where I need to be.
Yeah. Todd said, got it. This is why I watch your channel. Thanks, Todd.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks.
that. Stephen also said, Tim Bender for 50 years, you are on point.
Thank you. Yeah, and not trying to discredit flexible shape patterns. Try them and see if they work for you, because that's what I tell a lot of people in my classes is what I'm saying is not gospel. It works for me. So if you can take my class and you pick up a few little tricks that you can integrate into your work, I think it's beneficial, but you don't have to do everything the way I do it, because my brain's going to interpret information different than yours, so different processes might work better for you.
Different strokes for different folks.
That's right. That's right. And no truer words have been spoken. Yeah.
You all heard that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, so what other questions you guys got?
Yeah.
I'm waiting on the what's for dinner question because I am really hungry today.
You are really hungry today?
Yeah, my soup and salad for lunch was not all that filling.
Oh, I didn't tell you what I had for lunch. I had free tacos at work.
Oh, must be nice.
And a cookie. Oh, yeah. Burton said, getting ready to set up a new shop, besides everything on wheels, do you have any other life-changing tips? I think you have tons of storagey tips.
Yeah, so the big thing is lay out your shop into a normal workflow. Like we've been talking about doing a video on that.
Yeah.
So like this is all my metal shaping stuff. You know, that way we don't have the power hammer here and a wheeling machine over there and a Linux over there. This way we can come out of the power hammer, we can come right over here, we can go to the planishing hammer, we can go to the shrinker stretcher, we can go to the wheel. Everything is here and we can go round and round and round. When I had multiple, I've still got 2 power hammers, but when we had 4, everything was still right here. That way I could set each machine up independently from one another. So one would be shrink, one would be radial stretch, one would be linear stretch, one could be different radius, whatever. That way you don't have to change tooling out. You can go to machine to machine to machine to machine and you get in that flow. If you're having to walk 60 feet in between the machines, it's gonna slow you down, A, because you're walking, and then that gives you a chance to get distracted. So I try to put everything into organized to where I just stay in this little zone. I don't have to be walking around doing other things. So I like to do that, and I just utilize negative space.
If you look at the video we just posted with the Linux, you made a little shelf for all your tools for the Linux.
Yeah.
And so everything, now I'm gonna show, like
Lead the way.
all your tooling is right where you need it to be.
Yep.
Do you need a hammer, maybe? A new one? Just kidding. So it's all right by the machines. And then I also think you're really good at using like every crevice
Yes.
of space.
Yeah, and we can show that like over by the mandrel bender, because again, if I say when I'm bending rails, if I have my tubing at the other end of the shop, then I have to drag the tubing out, then I have to put it in the saw, then I have to cut it, then I have to move it to put it in the bender. So the bender, you have to have 20 feet forward and a 20-foot span, 100 degrees. That way you can swing that whole rail. That's why this spot is open for the most part. Like everything else is on wheels and can be moved, but you also have to have 20 feet back for the extractor, for the mandrel and the drawbar. So I kind of tucked that over into this corner underneath the steel rack where it's out of the way, and then I can put all of my tubing right here so we can slide it out, drop it down into the saw, cut it, bend it. We're not moving all over the shop.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to utilize funky, weird spaces, but keeping all of your tools and equipment and materials around the machines you need. That way you're not moving around a whole lot.
Yeah, I've got a lot of comments now.
Okay.
Because I wanted you to explain all that because I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Gabe Schaefer said, when gapping a fender to a door, do you take the end of the panel up, close the gap? I think he says.
Yeah,
okay.
I know what he means.
Yeah. Okay.
So that depends. If I will add a little bit of weld on the edge within reason, because when you open the door, you have to take that into account. Say that there's a 3/8 of an inch gap that you're trying to fill. Well, now that flange is going to look really weird. It's going to look really big. So anything much more than one pass with a TIG weld, and that's not welding a piece of round bar to it. That's just building it up with weld one pass. Anything more than that, I'll cut the door jamb. So the door jam's going to come out, and then you got your quarter. I'll go about a 1/2 inch away from that jamb, and then you can peel the jamb open, and then you have to weld that gap back up. So I kind of split the difference, and it's all within reason. Because like I said, you don't want to open that door and you've welded that much to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Because it's going to look really weird when the door is open.
Yeah. Michael said flexible pattern give, as Ray says, area volume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steven said move the metal. Dennis said he made homemade sausage for dinner. What's for dinner?
Nice.
We'll let you know, Dennis. Michael said great for copying a left hand and turning.
Yeah, because then you can flip it. Yeah,
hand.
you can flip it inside out and mirror it to the other to make sure they're symmetrical.
Yeah, and Steven said tooling is a space suck for sure. Michael said the rules of the work triangle. Yeah, think of flow, steel, stock to process and finishing. Aaron's Garage Adventure said, when did you decide to go out on your own? He's been working for a shop for about 6-7 years, getting tired of being told how to do his job when he knows how to do it. 27 and looking to move and do it on his own.
So I was pretty much unemployable. A lot of you guys have probably heard this story before. I have a problem with authority and oppositional defiance disorder. And even in high school, I couldn't really have a boss because I just didn't like the way they did things. So I wanted to do my own thing. There was nobody in this area kind of doing the metal shaping side of stuff into the caliber I wanted. So I was 20 years old and opened the shop full time pretty much right out of high school. I think I'd had a job out of high school for less than a year. I didn't graduate high school till I was almost 19. And then, then it's all been downhill from there. It's been a long journey.
Yeah, I think what helped you is because you were so young, you were still living at home, so it wasn't nearly as big of a risk as it would be like now at almost 40.
Yeah, I had way less, a lesser distance to fall if I failed. You know, I still lived at home. I didn't have a car payment. I didn't have a mortgage. Me and Jamie weren't married yet. It was like, you know what? This is the best time to do it because if I can do it now, it's going to get that first couple years of struggle of fresh business out of the way, and then we can move into growing a life. So that really worked out, but it was risky in the beginning, and it was a struggle.
Yeah, and I think for him, I think it depends. Like if you can take that risk, do it, because you'll regret not doing it.
Yeah, you'll never regret taking the risk.
Right, especially when you're betting on yourself, right? Aaron said thanks. Gabe said thanks. Outshine Copper said, when you are TIG welding in a section to a panel or two panels together, are you moving your torch in a continuous motion or move, stop, fill style?
Move, stop, fill, move, stop, fill. So you create the puddle, you let the puddle open up, and you'll see a keyhole. We've talked about the keyhole before. Let me see if I got a marker.
Aaron said, so hang it up and go for it.
That's what I would say, but that's a personal decision. So here's your weld seam. So I don't have a big marker on me, and you're gonna build this up.
Your hand in a minute, though.
Yeah, so that's going to be your weld, and then you're going to come forward, and you'll see this kind of open up a little bit. As it starts to fall away, that's going to be the keyhole. If you zoom in on that,
Hold on. I forgot I can do that.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like a keyhole right in front of the weld that's going to open up into a hole. That's when you fill with filler, and then that fills it up, closes the keyhole, and then once it closes, you move forward and repeat that process.
Okay. Alex said, do you have any advice on what type of sheet metal jobs to take on as a beginner? Rust repair, simple patch panels. I've assembled a decent set of tools, but don't have a ton of shop space.
In the beginning, you're going to have to take on anything you can. It's all going to teach you something, whether it be for a business or just as a hobby. Rust repair sucks, but it also teaches you a lot of stuff. Just take it all on. Try everything. And you'll find out, A, what you like, what you don't like, and it'll build you a better craftsman. Because I don't like doing rust repair, but working on old cars, that's what we have to do.
I think it's inevitable. I was trying to think if you've not worked on rust repair on any of these other projects in a way.
The Aston Martin, because it was aluminum, so it's not going to rust.
That's true.
But I get a lot of stuff that's damaged, and it's just repairing the damage versus a rust repair job.
Right, or someone's building like a Brookville or something where they're like assembling still. So, but I guess to say that you still do rust repair.
Oh yeah.
Like.
yeah. I mean, I get stuff in here. It's like, hey, I got this rusty piece of whatever. Can you fix that? And like I've got some cab over.
Was that what I almost ran into in the office?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got some cab over fender steps. They're rusty, and hey, can you make these new for me? I get a lot of that to where I don't want to repair them because there's so much rust that it would be like, okay, I'm going to put 15 patches in this. Or I could just build a whole new one, and the price is actually going to be cheaper to build a new one. So I get a lot of that as well. But it's all part of it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the last message is Aaron saying, "Hang it up and go for it."
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's risky, but it's worth it. The big thing is you have to have the personality to where you can deal with people, which I really struggle with. The people are going to be the hardest part in business. Making money is relatively easy. Doing the work is relatively easy compared to dealing and lost my train of thought. But managing people's expectations and managing the people when they're not being agreeable.
Yeah, reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable or agreeable. So it's a struggle, but yeah, I've been very fortunate in my career that everything's went pretty well, but I've just had to work really, really hard for a really long time.
Yeah, I think that there's a couple things to that. Like you just heard us say that you are going, you're planning on what we're doing Saturday and Sunday, like work-wise too,
Yeah.
right? So like obviously you're going out of town, so you're working a lot more than normal,
Yeah.
but most.
Yeah, pretty much since Bonneville, it's been customer work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Just trying to get enough done. Like there's stuff that I wanted to get done, like on all the project cars, there was way more stuff that I'd hoped to get done before we went to Australia, but there's just not enough time. I did the best I could with what time I had and trying to manage everybody's expectations.
Yeah.
So that's all I can do.
Yeah, you work hard, and then I think you have and I think twofold, you have talent, but you also don't mind it, right?
Yeah.
Like I know you don't love it every day, but you don't
Yeah.
mind shaping and stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I like hard work and I like being stubborn, so
Thanks, Gabe.
it's worked well.
Yeah, you are stubborn. He's too stubborn for it to fail.
Yeah.
I think that's the other piece of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, Steven again said Tim likes A4 eyeballs. Come on. Thanks, Steven.
Yeah.
Gabe said hit the like, which we appreciate. Aaron's Garage said thanks for the advice. It's scary, but I'm like you. I don't do good with being told what to do by people with lesser skill.
Exactly.
So, and he took your class last year and learned a lot.
Oh,
So
well, thanks
that's
for coming.
another plug. We have a video on it too, but if you haven't taken a class, of course we recommend it, but it's nice to hear other people recommending it too.
Yeah. Oh, and kind of on that, with the podcast stuff, since we're getting back to the podcast and it's going to be on like through Patreon and through the Discord server, it's not always going to be like having Chip Foose or like big names on there. Like with the new one, I want to bring our members on from the Discord. So that way it gives you guys the chance to be on an episode, ask the questions you want to ask and not have to type them out. So that's going to be another one of the perks with being on Discord. You get the podcast, but then you can actually be a guest on the podcast, whether that be in person, virtually, or however we need to make it happen. But I think that'll be really cool because there's a lot of podcasts I listen to that I'm like, I'd like to be on that podcast.
Or like I have different thoughts on that, or
Yeah.
I'd like to.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't convey the question the way you want via text.
Tone doesn't come across.
Yeah, so that's one thing I really want to open up to everybody that's going to be on the Discord server, that you can be on the podcast and ask the questions the way you want. And I know Discord sounds kind of scary and it's a whole new platform, but it's super easy. Setting everything up has been a little bit of a challenge, but I've been watching some videos on how to make the best of Discord.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's been improving. So
Yeah.
so far I think we got a really good community going and I want it to get a lot bigger.
Yeah. Alex said, how difficult is it to manage customers? He's never worked in a shop and would like to go out on his own too.
So the thing with managing customers is you kind of have to lay down the law with yourself and the customer. Like I have a no BS, these are the hard limits, and you have to treat me a certain way, I have to treat you a certain way, and you just manage the expectations up front and you have them sign a basic agreement that says, hey, this is the law of the land. I'm not gonna tolerate you texting me at midnight wanting to know how progress is. I have a life outside of this place. You have to be respectful. You're not gonna cuss me out just because you feel like it. You got to pay your bill. It's just you have to manage those expectations at the front. I don't give timelines because everything here is budget based.
Yeah.
And there's been times that I've dropped the ball. I mean, there's stuff that's been in here way longer than it needs to be. But in that agreement, you just have to say, like, I'm a human being. I'm one person. I can only do what I can do.
And I think on the flip side, two things. Flip side is they're humans too.
Yeah.
We've had this before. We talked about this last week, I think even, but like they have life that happens and maybe somebody gets sick or somebody's parent passes away or they have something that happens and it's only fair for us too to say, okay, yep, we get it. We'll pause for you too.
Yeah.
The other thing, I meant to talk to you about this anyway. Would it be a good idea to do like a project scope, and then if it expands, like have a new?
I have that already.
Okay, I thought you had that,
Yep.
and I saw that on something else, and I'm like, I think that's a good idea to
Yeah.
at least talk about too.
Yeah, so like, and that's what I do. Like when the car comes in, because anybody that runs a shop or works in a shop, a car is going to come in for X, Y, and Z, and then it's going to get a whole nother A, B, C, D, E, F, G added to
Yeah.
it. That's just how it works.
It's life.
So when the car comes in, we have a discussion. I want A, B, C, D. We put it on a project scope, they sign it. Then when they come back and like, well, I want to add E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Okay, we have a revised project scope that gets added, and then they sign and date that one too.
Yeah, so they know they're going to be paying more. It's going to take
Yeah.
longer. Everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, and you just have to document that. Like you can't have a handshake deal anymore. You can't say, okay, sounds great. It has to be in writing.
Receipts.
Yeah, because people could misunderstand what you said, or then if it goes to court, well, he said, she said.
Yeah.
If you have it in writing, you're protecting yourself and you're protecting your
customer.
client.
Yeah. Michael said, like-minded builders like Carl or others. Fitzy? I don't know that
Maybe
one.
on the podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And I know you plan on trying to get some of your other
Yeah.
friends on too.
Yeah, and it could be hard, like with other shops not wanting to be on stuff, or we've got, we did a bunch of other shops when we did the podcast for the public, and this can all be in the discussion. If you want to join the Discord and give discussion topics and ideas for the podcast, that way it's in the community, and the community kind of decides what the community wants to hear.
Yeah. I skipped this one. Sorry, Alex. Alex said that the podcast, like being guests on the podcast, sounds good too. So he'll subscribe to Patreon. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and there'll be, when you go to Patreon and sign up, the link to the Discord should be in there.
Yeah.
If you don't, just shoot me a message and I'll make sure to get that link over to you.
Yeah. Aaron's Garage said, do you have a basic template for customers to sign, or do you draw up an agreement with each individual customer?
It's a basic template, and like I said, all it says is like, this is how we expect behavior. This is, we're charging X amount of dollars per hour, no quotes, no estimates, time and material only, and project scope. It's very basic, and just so they know, this is the scope, this is the money we're going to be paying per hour, this is behavior on both sides, this is how we pay our bill.
Yeah.
Very basic. And then if they want something else, we can address that.
Yeah. Steven said, thank you, be safe on your travels, and we'll
Thank
talk
you.
soon. You've been busted tail. Let the hair down for sure.
Yeah.
Alex said, bring the receipts. Agreed.
Yeah.
Kevin wants to know where we're based out of.
We're in Milford, Ohio, which is just outside of Cincinnati. So I am on the northeast side of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where the cornfield comes from.
Yep. Yeah. People don't think there's a lot of cornfields here, but there's a lot.
They've not been to Ohio then,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so what other questions you guys got? 'Cause
Yeah, we're close on time.
Getting close. It's
Yeah.
almost dinner
Yeah,
time.
Dennis, we haven't picked out where we're eating yet.
Yep.
So.
Yep, and hopefully, going back to the garage night thing, hopefully you guys can make it to future garage nights.
Yeah.
For you guys that don't know what a garage night is Monday through Friday, I am locked door to the public other than by appointment. So if you don't have an appointment, I'm not going to come open the door for you. So Monday through Friday, locked door policy. So the first Friday of the month, as long as I'm in town, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., I open the shop up like a mini open house so people can come see progress on the projects. They can just come hang out, and it's a good, same thing. We're building a community of people that want to hang out in a shop, not hang out at a parking lot at a car show. So we just do a garage night the first Friday night, and they're usually pretty good, and we've had a lot of people from all over. So hopefully you guys watching can make it to one.
Yeah, Michael said he meant for the podcast, so yeah, like Carl and stuff. Then Mike Daniel said, when you're wheeling on your machine, I know you have a wheel dedicated with the rubber on it.
Yes.
What would you use to keep the rubber on a wheeling machine?
So like that one is vulcanized. So the wheel is the rubber is vulcanized to the steel wheel. They make like good rubber bands, and they might track on and off a little bit. I don't know. I'm just fortunate that mine was vulcanized to it, so it's adhered. Yeah, but you could use inner tube. You can use McMaster Car makes thick rubber bands. Yeah, you'll just kind of have to do your research and see what you can do to get it to stick.
Yeah. Dennis said, thanks. Have a great and safe time.
Yeah, thanks, Dennis, and we'll see you in the comments.
Yeah.
Dennis always comments.
And Gabe said, great live tonight. Wish it was closer for garage night. Hope dinner's good and safe travels for us. Yeah, because we won't have a live again probably till November.
Yeah, probably.
Sometime eventually. Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know.
Unless we do something in Australia.
Yeah. Like keep your eye out because I might surprise you guys. Like if I wake up early and it's a Thursday, because it'll be 6:30 Australia time. 6:30 a.m. Australia time.
Yeah,
something like that.
One of you Australian people.
yeah. So maybe I'll surprise you guys and
I don't know.
do one. We'll just see how things go.
Yeah, I thought it was 14 hours different. So if it's 14, wouldn't it be?
It'll be early.
I don't know. It'll be early. Aaron's Garage said, hope to make it down to Garage Night in Ohio, but way north. Have a good night to you and Jamie. Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks. So get those last minute questions in.
And Mike said, thanks, be safe. Dalton said, safe travels, enjoy the trip. Yeah, you'll still be on Discord and all your other normal platforms, so.
Yeah, because those will be nice because then I can get to it when I'm awake there, but it'll be the middle of the night for you guys.
Yeah, he's a little worried, I think, about being slightly bored after hours. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, because everybody will be asleep, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just roam the city and find cool stuff to do.
Yeah, find stuff for me to do when I get there.
Yeah.
Alcheg Copper said, thanks, guys. Love it as always. Safe travels. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
So I guess if there's no questions, I'm going to plug the Discord again. So head over to patreon.com/cornfieldcustoms. Sign up to be a patron to support the YouTube channel and all the social media stuff we're doing. It really helps out with getting new equipment and that kind of stuff. And then you get the perks of the podcast being on the Discord server. So it's not just you giving us money, you're getting something that I feel is of value. We're building that community of like-minded people to help grow your craftsmanship, and you guys can showcase your projects with one another and just build that community. And got a question?
I got a couple things.
Okay.
Gabe said he's up all night for work, which is great. You guys can chit chat.
Yeah.
Dan Weiss said Sunray Inc. in North Carolina can vulcanize wheels.
Nice.
Cool. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Gary Donnelly said enjoy your trip. Outchain Copper said how much is it to join the Discord?
We have 2 tiers. It's a $5 for the basic Discord. But then if you want like access to the podcast, the Q&A, all of that stuff, it's $15 a month. And that also gives you discount codes on all of the merchandise, class signups, get you early access to stuff. So if you want to head over and just check out the Patreon, it's got the 2 tiers with all the perks of each class on there.
It's worth it just for the percent discount alone, really. And then Michael Anderson said some guys have 2 wheels, 1 steel, and change to rubber wheel or use rubber cement.
Yeah, so I've got 2 wheels. I've got the vulcanized one and the hard steel, even though I don't wheel much anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Michael said your 1730 is our 730 the day later.
Okay.
So, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
to be 5:30 p.m. here.
Yeah.
Just
I
a day
think so.
different.
Yeah, Friday a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd have to go live Friday morning.
Yeah, Friday mornings.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't have any other questions, so.
Yeah, no other questions? All right, so check out.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, check out the Patreon, check out Discord, check out all of our other social media stuff. Always putting up different stuff on different platforms, so make sure to check that out. Thank you guys for checking this live out. Check out some of our other great videos. We're going to try to do a power hammer video this weekend if time permits.
Thanks for liking this video and sharing and subscribing.
And I appreciate you guys joining in for hopefully not the last live until November, but we'll see how things go. So
last scheduled live.
Last scheduled
we'll put
live.
It that way. We'll get back on our.
Yeah, once we get back for sure, but let's just see how things go. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. Tell a friend.
Tell your mom.
Tell your mom. Don't be a jerk to each other or me.
Trying to die.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. We're going to go get some dinner.